You can have the greatest song out right now. You can have thousands of people streaming it. You can have a lot of people listening to it, but a good song can be ruined if you do not know how to perform live or have much of a presence on stage. Tune in and watch the entire video as I provide some tips to become a good live performer. What up, it's GTech. My name is GTech and I'm a hip hop artist helping other artists grow and market their brand and their music. I'm not a professional marketer, I'm just learning everything on my own while applying it to my own music and my own brand. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe, it'll really help the channel. I have been personally performing live on stage for about 20 years. I used to perform at all the talent shows as a kid. I performed at family banquet halls, colleges, schools, and local venues and local bars. Being comfortable on stage and performing takes time and experience. Everybody finds their own rhythm and their own comfort level when it comes to performing. So I'll be providing a few tips on how to become a good performer and hopefully help you onto your next show. Tip number 1, engage with your audience. The best performers are the ones who connect with their audience and involve them throughout the performance. Before I start my set or before I start performing, I always like to engage with the audience and maybe ask them a question like, how's everyone feeling tonight? If you're having a great night, make some noise. Always introduce who you are so people know who you are so they can recognize you and get to know you. You want to be remembered and you want to make an impact so you're not just another person on stage and just a regular act. You want to build that relationship. You want to be able to have the crowd on your side. You want to make it feel like they're on stage with you. If you're too rigid, if you're shy, if you're very closed, you're not engaging with the audience as much, they won't find you as entertaining. Tip number 2, use the space on the stage. So before you go on stage, analyze and familiarize the stage and how much space there is. You want to be able to utilize the entire space on the stage. Depending on the mood of the song, you want to be able to move around, jump around. You do not want to sit in one place. It'll look boring and it won't look entertaining to watch and be a part of. You need to loosen up, you need to be confident, you want to be remembered, and you want to capture the audience's attention. If this is a slow song and the mood is completely different, depending on the mood of the song and how appropriate it is to be standing on one spot. If it is a slow song, then it might be different. It might not be appropriate to be moving too much, and standing still for the song might be a little bit more appropriate. Tip number 3, rehearse before your performance. Before you perform, you need to make sure you have the song memorized and you need to make sure you have practiced performing beforehand. Now, memorizing the song is a given. You need to make sure you rehearse the choreography beforehand to ensure that you know the movements and you know exactly how you're going to perform. It is very important to maybe practice in front of a mirror so you know exactly how you look like when you're performing. Maybe there's a part in the song where you're going to jump on cue. Maybe you're going to jump on a certain beat or a certain part of the song. And if you do not like the movements you're making during your performance, that is something you can fix and adjust to as well. All these components are key to your performance. I live in Toronto, Canada, and there's a place where you can practice. It's called Rehearsal Factory. So if you live in the GTA, there are several locations where you can go to, and you can go to the studio where you can practice and rehearse your performance. Rehearsal Factory charges for a minimum of 2 hours. So you can call in, you can book online, and you can book a slot, book depending on how long you want to practice. The great part of Rehearsal Factory is that they're loaded with mics and guitars and drums and all sorts of equipment. Really solid speakers, they have a stage, and you can practice like you're actually practicing for your show. I've practiced at Rehearsal Factory with my music group and it has helped our performance and how we perform tremendously. Rehearsal Factory is not paying me to advertise this. I've used it personally and I'm telling you that it does help. Tip number 4, record all your performances. If you can get someone to record your performance while you're performing, it's great because you can look back at the footage and you can see all the mistakes that you've made or the things that you want to improve in your performance. It is difficult to judge a performance while you're performing because you can't really see yourself performing. So it's always helpful to see that footage and seeing yourself perform. You always want your next performance to be better. You always want your next performance to be better. It is great to have great music, but it is also just as important to be able to deliver that and being able to be a good performer live on stage and to be a great entertainer and overall artist. Record the audience as well. See their reaction and use it as feedback. If they react to a certain part of the song or a certain part of your performance, maybe you are jumping up and down and you're really hype, use that. And once you see that reaction of the audience, you want to be able to do that more for your next performance, so you know your audience at that time enjoyed what you were doing at that moment. Tip number 5, do not drink cold water right before your performance. Cold water can shock your vocal cords and create tension and limiting your range of your voice. It can really affect the ability of how you project your voice. This is especially detrimental to singers. It is definitely recommended to keep hydrated, but if you're drinking water, keep it at lukewarm or room temperature. So those are 5 tips on hopefully helping you to strengthen your abilities as a performer. Rehearsing in front of a mirror is probably one of the key components and techniques and skills in order to be a good performer, because you're watching yourself perform and you can give yourself feedback and apply it and make the necessary changes. If I missed anything or you have additional tips that have helped you in the past to become a good performer, please let me know in the comment. You can also follow me on Instagram at official GTech. So I really hope you found this video useful. I really hope that you learned something and maybe you can apply one of these tips to your next show. So good luck on your next show. I really hope you do well. And if you want to support the channel, please like and subscribe. That's it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one, and I'm out.